Snow and bitter temperatures overnight have left a mess on the roads this morning. How much time you'll need to add to your commute coming up now on Daybreak. Our chief meteorologist, Ellen Baca, is going to be here with us as well, talking about that.
Yes, and welcome to our coldest day that we've had in nearly a year across West Michigan. The cold is not going to be entrenched here very long, though.
Also a reminder for staying out of the cold, what you can do to keep warm today safely. Good morning. It is 5 o'clock on your Thursday. I'm Teresa Weekly. Daybreak starts right now.
From the Storm Team 8 Tracking Center, this is a winter weather alert.
As the snow hopefully tapers off, the goal is for visibility to improve. This is a time lapse of snowfall overnight in Allendale. You can see it got pretty difficult to see anything. As that gets a little bit better, we're still dealing with very dangerous conditions, from the frigid temperatures to icy roads. We have team coverage inside our tracking center and outside. We are going to start with Matt. It's bitter out there.
Oh, it is bitter out there. And you can see Ellen, we played paper, rock, scissors, and Ellen lost as she's outside. I know. We went 5 rounds and I won it, obviously. But no, yes, it's brittle, I can't even say it. Frigid, I want to say brittle, cold, frigid. And Ellen's going to cover that in just a moment. I'm going to cover the snow. And you could just look at this current radar imagery, and without even saying anything, you astute weather observers out there, just by looking at the radar, you know it has to be cold across West Michigan to see the, basically a lake effect kind of streaming right across Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, and Lake Huron. You get that lake effect. Okay, zooming into West Michigan, you can see from Grand Rapids westward, some of the most concentrated areas of snow. But what we want to do is kind of focus on some of those bands that really put down most of the snow, the lowest of the visibility, and of course, those two together, the combination of the most difficult traveling. And I think that's going to be anywhere from Grand Rapids right down to Kalamazoo. That point that in between US 131 and also Ford Freeway right down to South Haven, that is going to be very challenging today. One of the reasons why we have a strong wind out of the west, so any north-south oriented road is really going to be difficult to travel on with these winds and the blowing snow. Current visibility a mile in Grand Rapids and also in the Kalamazoo, 3/4 of a mile in the Muskegon area. Here's the latest. We continue with those warnings along the lakeshore, also advisories. I don't really think there's going to be much of a difference in terms of sensible weather between the lakeshore today and also in inland areas, at least initially this morning. Just look at this camera view. This is the heart of Grand Rapids. The interchange there, the Ford Freeway, and also US 131. Snow covered, and take you out to the lakeshore. It's still blowing snow out there. Cold. Temperatures in the mid-teens out there. I'm going to end it like this because the cold's not going to last very long. But I tell you, while it's here, Ellen, it is frigid outside. How you doing out there?
Man, it is quite different when you see a gust of wind roll through compared to not. When you're just hanging out here, the temperatures are cold but tolerable, but the moment you get a wind gust, you get the blowing snow picked up across the region, and then you also can really feel it definitely on your face, any exposed skin. So the wind chill is definitely a concern this morning. If you're headed out today, make sure to add the layers and don't skip any, the gloves, the hats, the boots, everything, because every piece of your body that's covered is a little bit safer from the wind chill component. It's been about a year since we've seen air quite this cold, and my goodness, we're tapping back to that Canadian air mass of good 20-degree below zero temps. Lake Michigan is helping us out, but still, as this air rolls down into the Great Lakes, it's a good 20 degrees colder than usual for this time of year, and that's been perfect for lake effect snow, as Matt has just showed you. This is going to keep cranking and rolling in throughout the day, so even after sunrise, we're not really going to be seeing much improvement. Wind speeds right now are steady at about 15 to 20, and that's really where we're running into the issues, the blowing, the drifting, and then especially the wind chill. It feels like 8 below right now in Grand Rapids, 3 below in Allegan. Still feels below zero close to the lakeshore, even with the lake influence. And as we go through the day, at best, it's going to feel just above zero. We are going to start to feel the wind lessen a bit in the afternoon. So you can see your wind chill values eventually feeling like, oh, maybe 3 by the time we get to this afternoon or evening. Tomorrow we start to see some improvements, and Matt's going to be back in just a bit to talk about the weekends. We're on our way into a big warm-up for the weekends and into next week. But this morning, bottom line, it is cold. Bundle up and just brace yourself for that big smack of wind from time to time.
It's definitely better out there. I'm just checking here for our school closings. We're up to 99 school closings right now. So students getting a snow day, but with the frigid temperatures, the question is, should they play out in the snow, or is this more of a stay inside and binge Netflix kind of a situation? We'll talk about that here as the show goes on. What do you think, Ellen?
Definitely think that it's going to be too cold to stay out longer than 30 minutes.
Okay.
So make sure you're keeping a close eye on the kids.
Good to know. Get the cocoa ready for when they come busting in the door again. Unless you're a teacher, you probably won't get a snow day, so you'll have to deal with all of this on your way to work. We have Tom Hillen and Elena Cugino following that this morning. Tom, we're going to start with you. How much time should people add to their drive today?
I would say a pretty significant amount of time. I would give yourself at least an extra 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes as we start to navigate throughout the morning. We are working with a number of crashes so far, and one of the newest ones right now is shoulder block northbound US 131 near Post Drive, so definitely be aware of that. We are still also working with the closure of the southbound lanes of M37 Cherry Valley at 100th Street, so the roads are very slippery. Even my drive in through downtown Grand Rapids, Fulton Street Hill was very difficult to get up. So again, some of these areas in the city are going to be your best conditioned roads, and even those are not in great shape. So you can see right now all this yellow on our map. Yellow this morning doesn't necessarily mean that there's a backup. It's just an indication of how slow drivers are traveling out there. So again, this is the morning that if you do have to head out the door, give yourself a lot of extra time. I'll have another update for you in about 15 minutes. Teresa, or Elena, let's check in with you to see how roads are looking where you are.
Yeah, good morning, Tom. I'm trying my best not to shiver right now, but we're here in Byron Township. We were heading to Wayland earlier this morning, and we had to get off of US 131 because just how bad these roads are, and not only the roads themselves, but the visibility. As Ellen was talking about, that wind is really blowing, and it's causing all that snow to make it really hard to see on those roads, especially when there are no street lights. When we were heading here, we're near exit 72. When we were heading here, as soon as we got out of the city, as soon as those streetlights were gone, you couldn't see anything. So if you have to get on the roads today, take it slow. We actually saw several crews getting these roads, hopefully trying to get these roads clear. We saw lots of salt trucks, lots of plow trucks, not only on the highway, but on these back roads. And we're here near the on-ramp heading north on US 131. And we've been seeing cars taking it incredibly slow. In fact, on the highway, people are down to 50, 40 miles per hour instead of that 70 that we're used to. So again, if you have to get on the roads today, take it incredibly slow, and make sure you give yourself enough room. And if you have to go slow on these highways, put those hazards on. Give yourself room. For Now Live in Byron Township, Elena Cugino, News 8.
Elena, thank you. If you lose power or you need to help someone find a warm place to stay, Kent County has a lot of options. Libraries are often open during the day. Other shelters like Mel Trotter and Exodus Place, those are always open. And you can call 211 or check in with your police or fire departments if you need help today. They're expecting and ready for calls like that.